But now, Unicorns of Love are one step closer to securing that important first place seed with the win. For more, QuickShot is with the winning coach.
Thank you very much, guys. Great cast on the day. I am joined here by Fabian. And first of all, congratulations on the series win. I was screaming like a girl backstage because that was just such an exciting series to watch.
Yeah, same Romain. Romain was like, oh my God, Unicorns! So he was totally all over the place. And obviously, I was very calm and collected when we ran to the Nexus and, you know, analyzing the game already.
Now, I'm going to cut you off there because that's a lie. I could hear you yelling and reacting and, you know, chatting backstage. But as a coach, watching your team, knowing that a first place seed is on the line, how is it with so much at stake?
This is really important for us because we really want to have this first place secured for Hamburg. And so that we instantly go there. So it was really, really important for us. I think there's really nothing much you can do in backstage because you're kind of helpless and you can just talk in between the game. Especially the last games are always very, you know, tense. So yeah, you're just sitting backstage, you kind of enjoy. And I think we're right now in the rhythm where we're playing so many games that I've gone used to it, kind of. But I still, you know, shout like crazy when we have this exciting, explosive team fights where you're just like, holy crap, this is happening.
Now, Sheepy, whenever we talk to you on broadcast, you're a little bit more reserved sometimes, a little bit more calculated. This is some of the most excited that I've seen you, and I think that's because you know you've basically locked first.
Hopefully, yes, hopefully. I think that if we can keep our performance and like fix stuff here and there, that we can secure the first place. And because I'm living in Hamburg, I really, really want to go there. So this means a lot to me if we are already secured to go there.
So it means a lot to you. Obviously, there's mathematical chances that H2K can catch you. That means you've got to do well against Vitality. Knowing you have 2 series in a week to prepare when most weeks it's 1, and knowing there's so much more on the line, is it difficult? Is it more of a challenge going into the last week of the split?
No, I can't really tell right now. I'm just still very much in the game that we just played. However, I think that against Vitality on paper, we should have better chances. So we will just prepare like every week. And hopefully we get really good scrims in and practice a lot. Because I think that we learned a lot from this series specifically. And when I'm back with the guys backstage, we're going to talk about it and go over the replays and prepare as much as possible. Playoffs to come.
Yes, playoffs to come, looking likely to be in the semi-final. You've already touched on, of course, Hamburg and how much it means to you personally. It's been a while since Unicorns of Love have been in the final of an EU LCS split. Is this the split? UOL returns to finals?
I think so, yes. I think everyone is working really hard, and we're on a level where I think that this is definitely something we're looking for. Obviously, anything can happen. You know, the enemy can show up, but I really want to go there, so everyone is working really, really hard, me including as well. So if we keep on working hard, then I think we should be in the finals.
Well, definitely the fans in the crowd want to see you guys in Hamburg, and it was great to interview and chat. Congratulations again on the win, and we'll see if you guys can lock that first seed.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great. We're going to head over to the analyst desk to wrap up the series.
Thank you very much, QuickShot. And of course, with Unicorns of Love winning the series, Splyce is set up for a very likely 3rd place finish. Yep. And Unicorns of Love are 1 series win away from guaranteeing first place. So a lot has happened in this series in terms of standing implications, and it looks really good for Unicorns.
I mean, come on, they're playing Vitality next. Vitality do not play for anything. Yes, they will have some fun in that series, but Unicorns right now, they should lock that first place, which is so huge for them as an organization. We talk so much about them coming into the split, upgrading the jungle position. That is already really good with Xerxes. He's been really good this split. And then, like, keeping Exile, Hylissang, and Chachi. Expanding on that core. They always kept Chachi and Hylissang, added Exile after last split, and, like, just keeping those 3 players who've been some of the best performing ones on the Unicorns of Love this split have allowed them now to kind of take it to the next level, which is to become one of the absolute best teams.
It looks so good for them. And Splyce, I feel like they found some good moments, some good opportunities. Yeah. We can take a look at this first replay where we do see Splyce, they find a win. They find themselves in a decent spot. They find 1 fight in this final game, but it's simply not enough for them. So while there were moments, it's overall a little interesting.
I mean, he thought it was doomed already. What's important here is the fact that Xerxes doesn't get to do any damage. Like, that was his ulti charge, which is gone now, so he's kind of useless in this fight. Samax as well, because of Kennen ulti and now Orianna didn't get to enter the fight either, which meant Splyce could actually win it. But before this, we thought it was over already, because we looked at like this draft from Unicorns, we're like, this fantastic team fight. This is exactly what they want. And Splyce kind of opted into this Kennen again. Stress talked about how Kennen didn't necessarily straight up lose them the game, and I agree so far. But I think Kennen didn't help them either, which is my problem with it. I think this, to me, It's like they already have Rengar. Last game, it showed how hard it is to split push against Rengar as a cannon because you just get jumped in the side lane. And then you have a pure team fighting comp from the enemy team, which can start fights against you. You know Unicorns will force those fights. I think the cannon just ends up being too hard to play. This was an R game, if anything, for me. So you had a bit more team fighting. Like, look at this fight here. This is just what Unicorns can do over and over and over because they can start fights with things like Zillion speeding up a Vladimir, a Rengar ulti, flanks from Rumble, and there's nothing Splyce can do.
And you look at the composition from Splyce as well, right? You have a Malzahar ult, you have a Graves ult, you have an Orianna ult. Like, that's the shotgun, right? In theory, you get one shot, you kill everybody, they're dead, but like, they have a Vladimir who's going to dodge the vast majority of those engages. They have the Zillion who's going to stop a bunch as well. So it feels like Splyce didn't really set themselves up for success here. It feels like they had a goal and they continued with it, split pushing on the sideline.
Yeah, sure.
But it didn't look like it was the right call for how they were playing the game.
I mean, we saw 2 games where they tried to execute it. It didn't work for them both of the games. So while we can't say it was just Kennen alone who was at faulty, it was pretty difficult to execute Kennen in these games here. And I think that's one of the reasons Unicorns just won teamfight after teamfight in the last 2 series.
Well, when we look at
games.
Kind of a huge factor in those team fights, it was Exile coming in the mid lane, and he is going to be our player of the series. Fantastic performance from him overall, great Vlad play, and we can see kind of some of the reasons why that pick is rising to popularity.
Sure. Definitely a good pick from him. I think he's a bunt game as well. Early on, especially, he set up a lot of picks left and right. I think overall, Exile, we talked about it, you know, he's kind of joined that core of Chachi and Hylissang, of some members who are playing at a very high level. There's always things you can improve on, but Unicorns of Love, if you just match like the individual players to every other team, they are even/above almost all of them when it comes to some of these players like Chachi, especially man, we highlight. I think also Exile on a good day. But obviously there are players who can match them for sure in Europe, and that's why it's exciting once we go into playoffs and we're going to have these 4 to 5 top teams kind of facing each other in best of 5s.
I'm ready. Well, with that series locked away and in the books, it's time to look forward. Now, last week, Reckless pushed himself to his limits as his team struggled to an emotional 2-1 victory over Giants. Next, Fnatic will be facing the undefeated G2. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Way for Senkooks, and now he's getting dove down by Hylissang and Exile. Bombs are on. Exile's trying to finish the job with the Hemo Plague, and he will get it. He's going to be the first to fall, and he will not be the last. It is Trashy going down. Wonder trying to get some damage back. Yamato is not happy with how this is going at the moment. Bombs on. Wonder's caught. The Unicorns, the gang squad's arrived, and there's nowhere for him to go but back to Fountain. Okay, Hylissang, he belts before the start of it, but he did have his own ultimate on. Exile right in the middle of it all as Splyce are trying desperately to get out of harm's way again, but Chachi is leading the charge, overheating as his game just keeps on being hot. He gets slain by Exile. Let's see if he can get out, though. He's got no flash, and they're trying to use him as bait. He's taken out by Trashy, and the rest of Splyce, they're routed. They have to head back to Fountain. Exile is still chasing the double kill. Another one for Chachi. They burn through Splyce, and that's gonna be game.